Welcome everybody back. We are here with JP on the Star Wars CCG Graded update for October 2025. We have a bunch of stuff to knock out, but man, September was a very interesting month. Would you say, JP?
Yeah, on so many different levels too. So yeah, great month.
Fantastic month. Obviously, all the celebrations that were part of the group for hitting over 1,000, so that was pretty amazing. And of course, there were lots of prize giveaways. Congrats to some of the other people that won slabs from JP's giveaways, and Josh Whitmore for getting the double-sided slab, and Andy Elder getting the encyclopedia. That was a super desired item. We're going to have to find a way to get more of those in hands of members. And a huge thanks to Brian Emery for donations. Robert John also doing a lot of donations. I have received donations from a few other people as well. It's really because of the generosity of the group that we're able to keep doing this, because we can only give away so much, right, on our own. But I really want to give a shout out to them, and another shout out to Mark Darth Grader for being a trooper and ripping a Reflections box. I'm sure you knew better than to do that, but you did it anyways to celebrate the big rip video we did in September. If you haven't seen that, check that out. It's worth your time. But otherwise, very exciting month, and the group is still growing. Am I right, JP? Like, we're still seeing acceleration here?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of activity and engagement right now, and all the excitement from the celebration and all the prizes. Just in the last 2 weeks, we've gathered about 33 new members. So it's, of course, that's expected, a large increase in membership. So keep it going. We're just gonna keep growing the group and keep the fun alive and going strong as we can.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So that's good to hear. And I know we've seen some sales and postings going on there, some very interesting stuff. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But let's start in with our contest here, as we do per usual. So September was non-BGS, non-PSA slabs. So we had a bunch of different interesting submissions from TAG, SGC, HGA, electric grading. So there's a few other interesting slab companies out there that people are grading cards with. Who knew? But very interesting to see. So I'm going to start off with low ball here. We have a Paul Hubbard won the low ball, not JP this time. I know that's your favorite category, JP.
That is.
Paul Hubbard, SGC 7, Darth Vader with lightsaber, black border, and CGC 7.5, Son of Skywalker foil. So, Paul, congrats on that. So, since you have the father and the son, we will be giving you the daughter of Skywalker, PSA 8 from Endor, as your prize. So, congrats on that. JP, you want to hit up Unique?
Yeah. So we did have a few good submissions to that for this month for the competition, and the winner to that is Brian Emery. If you haven't seen what he submitted 2 electric grading services cards, a 9-5 Strangle and a 9-5 Someone Who Loves You. You got to take a look at the slab
super labels. Unusual.
It's super unusual. I'm going to also let Kyle talk a little bit about it. They've got different grading levels, and if you take a look at the slab, it may be the replacement to HGA.
Yeah. So I had to be like, what? Why these cards? Like, what was the thought process with that? I don't know if that was part of a bulk order or something, but that is very unusual. I'm a big fan of HGA, of course, but they're not doing slabs right now, so we got to be realistic here. And the electric grading, so JP, in fairness, you did some research too, but in looking at this company, right, like I've seen these slabs around, like in different collecting circles, but not like anything of significance or bulk, and I really haven't heard anybody talk about them. But they have different tiered levels of grading, so they have this like core level that's like $5 a slab, and it's just kind of black, white. They grade it, right? Okay, nothing too crazy. They have a PC collector style slab where you can get like a design on it, but they won't actually grade it. So something if you just want to slab it for the sake of it, but don't care about the grading. They have a pro level, which is like kind of semi-custom in the slab label itself for $9 a card, like 15-day turnaround or something. And then they have a $10 option for a master level, which is like fully customized slab label, 15-day turnaround for $10 a card. That's really cheap. And considering that the annual fee is $25 to sign up, it's $30 in credit towards submission when you sign up. And that turnaround time, that's kind of insane if you think about it. I mean, it's made me rethink on some of the cards I have lying around for just my personal collection, stuff I don't plan on selling or they just don't really have any value, but I think would look really cool. $10 a slab is very appetizing considering PSA is still at $18.99 a card plus the astronomical insurance and shipping fees and whatever, God only knows, vending, or I don't know what other fees they're tacking in there, but it is very expensive. So that is very interesting.
Yep. So I agree. I looked the same stuff up, and I like the personal collection slab that they do. It is very affordable. And Brian wins the Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith PSA slab. So congratulations. But I'd like to see more of that electric grading company. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very interested. I think I have some like anime cards or maybe Stranger Things cards I might send out to them, stuff that I'm not worried about a registry set, or stuff I was meaning to like hang up on a wall somewhere since I have random card displays around. But yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it could be a solution. It could be a solution to, for me, I grade everything BGS. That's from my personal collection, and I send sets off at a time. So if you're looking to send, one of your sets off, or even like one of the smaller sets, like an anthology or a Jedi pack, you want to get them all done. This is a way to do it cheap as well. So if you just want them for your own personal collection, have the whole thing protected, man, that's about as cheap as it gets.
Yeah. So congrats, Brian, on that. Thank you for everything you've done for the group so far. And you're getting this Darth Vader. Love to see some more electric grading stuff in the future. And for top pair, JP, we had a little debate on this, but then we came to a solid conclusion. And I think I'm good with it. 2 winners, a tie. First one, I'll mention Jason Fox had an SGC 10 of Luke Skywalker white border and an SGC 10 Yoda black border. I think the Yodas can be tricky to grade at the top. I seem to remember people complaining.
Yeah, although it does say there's on the sheet. It's in a top corner on the sheet when it's cut.
That's right.
It's always going to have some problem, right?
So that alone stood out to me because I know people have complained about the location on the sheet of that card. And the other winner, JP.
Yeah, is Daryl Toman, I believe is the pronunciation. He did have a fantastic submission for the top pair. SGC 10 Obi-Wan Kenobi white border and a tag 10 Luke Skywalker black border. Now, why we had to come up with this conclusion is I don't think Daryl read the instructions very carefully, and we're going to call you out on that. Just remember, guys, we can only allow you to submit in one category. So we're going to be very lenient because we are a loving community. But we are going to accept your submission this time. Please remember, though, I'm pointing the finger up. Please remember, only submit in one category. Now, if you want to show off some of your other stuff in Showcase, just put it in the comments after it. I usually do it every month. I say, I also had all these fun cards just to showcase. But you cannot submit in more than one category. But good job. It was a good submission.
So Daryl will be getting, let's keep a little optimism here in PSA Slab 7. And Jason will be getting Menace Fades PSA 7 from Death Star 2. So kind of cool slabs. I don't know how many of those are graded, but can't imagine many. So very interesting. Congrats to the winners. Looking forward to upcoming October Thieves Smugglers for this month. November, we have characters with more than one in the picture. I believe we discussed this on our last video as well. And December, because it's winter, we're going Hoth. We're going to keep it simple. SJP's background picture, that's one of the greatest Hoth slabs, Hoth mountains I've ever seen. It's so cool. And I don't know how I let that slip my fingers. But anyways, that is not important. Let's move on to shows. Let's see. So at least in my neck of the woods, September had a Philadelphia card show. It wasn't a non-sports show. It was just a general show. But I think I was a little I was definitely taken aback by the sheer size of this show. And maybe I just need to get out to more shows. But this was huge. And I know the sports world is pretty big. But inevitably, there's going to be vendors that are selling other stuff. Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, other old stuff. Like, they're just going to be there. So I was amazed at how large the expo hall was for this. And I did see Star Wars CCG cards in the wild. There was nothing sealed. There were some like starter premiere boxes that had cards in them, so you could open them and see what was in there. I'm like, oh, here's the rare, good for plays and stuff. But I didn't see anything that was like really catching my eye for what I need. But I was happy to see it out there, and I was looking at other Star Wars cards anyways. So that's kind of why I went. They have a non-sports card show October 25th in my area. But yeah, I am seeing an uptick in interest of card shows in the area for like Delaware, Philly, and like this like northeastern Maryland corner. I've been following and tracking shows in the space, and there's more popping up. There's like more local stuff popping up, which I have not seen before. So I'm happy to see it. I think there is a demand here for just trading cards in general, which I think is healthy for the space. So I'm excited to see that. I will be vending at a local show the weekend of October 25th. So I can't vend at the Philly card show, but they did ask me to do it. I said maybe for the next one, but I already have a table somewhere else. So otherwise, anything in your neck of the woods? I know you said there wasn't anything immediately you were doing. But
yeah, so there's always, and you probably are starting to notice this too, is that the same companies or card stores are kind of coordinating it or hosting these. So all you got to do is just either follow them, and then you'll be going to the biggest shows that they're offering. But yeah, there's a lot in Kansas City, St. Louis, and even in the Springfield, Branson area. So that's kind of about where I live. Yeah, I probably won't be heading to one even just as a spectator until November, I would say. I usually vend at shows and get multiple tables. I know I've done probably 3 this year already. So I'll be looking to see the availability. And there's the St. Louis Cardinals AA team is here in Springfield, and they hold one of the biggest card shows, but it's mostly sports cards in Missouri. But I'm going to finally check that out and see kind of what else is going to be out there. I'm hopefully see some Star Wars CCG in the wild as well. I know the last 2 or 3 shows, people came by and they were just blown away to even see that and remember. And I ran into a guy ran into me, I'd say, came over, and he immediately went straight to the Star Wars CCG cards and said he has a storage unit that was filled with all the sets, sealed. He used to play regularly, and it gave him inspiration to go out there and get it and possibly start grading. He joined the group. So, so you don't know what you're going to run into or see. I mean, he has a storage unit full of it. So, that's
wow.
That's what happens when you go to the show. You got to get out there and meet people.
Yeah, so hopefully if anybody finds out of any shows in the area, feel free to post those, especially if you're seeing Star Wars CCG in the wild. That's always of interest. So let's wrap this up. We're going to have take a quick look at how some of our interesting sales over the past month over September. I know we highlighted some early ones like the Queen Amidala AI PSA 9 600 and Mara Jade Empress hand foil PSA 9 for 400. But there's been some other interesting sales. Sergey's Lando Calrissian's PSA 10s, the light side went for 280 and the dark side went for 203.61. That's pretty interesting. There was a Captain Han Solo PSA 10 for 280, a C3PO PSA 10 from Premiere for 255. What other interesting sales? We had a Yoda Reflections PSA 9 foil that 219. So
Wow.
That's pretty high. I don't know if there is a PSA 10 foil from Yoda. If there is, I have to check. But that
There's
would
not
be
PSA
really
10.
rare if there is.
Yeah. I know Cam's been chasing that for a lifetime, and he's probably got the creme de la creme of the Yodas, and I don't think there's a PSA 10 foil out there.
I wouldn't be surprised if one drops and it goes for 4 figures easy. Curling Corvette foil PSA 8 for $1,049.99.
Yeah,
that is of note because even those have been creeping up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had a Obi-Wan with lightsaber enhanced Premiere CGC 9.5 sell for $86.61. That was interesting. Boss Nass AI PSA 9 $159.99. We had a Utini light side Japanese Premiere PSA 8 that sold for $400. Bizarre. I think I got my PSA 10 one for $150 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, we talked about that one in our ad.
That was
there's
totally
been like
bizarre.
a slew. There was like a whole bunch that sold on a Sunday, all from the same seller. Somebody like did all the buy it now, didn't even like bid on it. They just bought the whole entire collection of one at a time, and we were like, why would somebody buy them all at $250 or something? But the sales are going crazy.
Yeah, a bunch of Reflections foil sales. I won't list the prices of those, but going strong. The PSA 9s and the foils are really like holding value strong just because it's just so hard to get a 10. Like it's so unusual. A 9 is really good. Like an 8 is like the new 9. For those. Like if you had an all 8 foil set, you could say like, yeah, this is all like a mid set. But if you had like all 9s, then you could say like, well, I have like an elite foil set,
For sure.
Maybe a sprinkled 10 in there. I mean, I would say that's about as good as it's probably going to get, maybe you can get a few 10s here and there, but I mean, I don't think you'd be crazy to try and chase all 10s for something like that.
Yeah. Even early on, I mean, I've been grading 20 years now, or 15, 20 years. And I knew right away, there's going to be no way these cards are ever going to be 10s from anybody. And so my personal goal was 9s or better. And the sets are all there. It's a mix of 9s and 10s. There's more 9s and 10s, of course, but there's no way anybody's going to have all 10s. That's just a pipe dream.
Yeah, it's interesting because there are some sets where 9, like obviously the foil sets, like 9s are holding a lot of value. Then there's other things like It's Worse Japanese Premiere PSA 9 sold for $7.50. Baron Suntir Fell Death Star 2 PSA 9 sold for $16.50. It's some of these cards, like they're selling for less than even they cost to grade. It's like a total loss.
Right.
I get some of the like cheaper cards maybe, but even still, it's like just no respect, like no respect at all for what that is. Like, nope, don't care.
And that's the risk. That's the risk of flipping too. So again, it's a mix of different people in the community. If you're the one that just collects it, great, get it graded. It might not be worth as much as the grading fees, and it might be astronomical. But if you're in it to flip, that's the risk you're going to take. Is grading fees are going to exceed sometimes the cost, or you're going to break even if you're lucky.
Well, in fairness, a lot of these like really low sales are probably ones I've submitted, but I have them already in these grades or better. The challenge is I'm trying to hunt for an upgrade, a better version. So if I submit it and I don't get it, then it becomes a duplicate. And then I got to get rid of it for junk. So it's like I roll the dice, I don't win. So it's not about like, grading them to flip them like, oh, I'm going to get rich. Like, that's not it. Like I want to find a better version of this card for my personal collection. If I get it, I'm keeping it.
Right.
If not, or if I do upgrade, I'll sell the one I just upgraded. Right. So that's the thought process on there. But when I look at, the Jedi pack, right, I have it in all PSA 9s, so it's like, I could rip through lots of sealed product and submit it a lot of times and probably not get a lot of 10s. You know, like I probably lose 9 times out of 10 at least, maybe more. Maybe it's more like 15 out of 16 times I'm probably gonna lose. You know, so the rest, what do you do with that? Because that means nothing to me. I don't need it.
You're right.
I have it. So it's like, do you just give it all away? You know, like, but what's that upgrade worth? You know, because I'm basically saying that 110 that I get out of all those has to be worth the cost of losing all these other cards. You know, so it's really, you know, $300, $400.
Right.
Like
it's compounded. You're right.
It's insane. Yeah. So like when somebody's asking for a big price on a 10 for something, you're like, okay, well, how many times was there a loss before it came to that? You know, and now I'm seeing that, you know, I'm trying not to look at my bank account anymore. But I just want to win. So set registry wise, I did submit for Enhanced Cloud City, the complete set for that. And I was looking because the Enhanced Jabba's Palace includes oversized Mara Jade. I'm not sure why they did that, but I don't see a correlation with an oversized card for the Enhanced Cloud City. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. I was trying to find out information on that. But hopefully we get that added.
I have been in contact with the manager over the registry team and made corrections. I keep sending her the checklist. You know, it's the same checklist that's at
yeah.
And they do make corrections from time to time. But like, just as an example, the tournament foils, they're actually out there twice for some reason. They've got one of them, I think, is a 2000 and the other one's a 2001 set. And I submitted my collection to it. And it's like, I'm number one in both, but it's the same set. So it's not like I have 2 separate sets. I just submitted the same cards to the second set. And it's like, it's valid to them. And I keep writing them and say, those 2 sets are showing separate published, but they're only one single set. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I find myself in even the completed set. Sometimes I get the card that would fit the slot, but it doesn't appear in the set. So I have to submit a request. Please manually add this because this card fits this item description. And then they're usually pretty good with that within a day or so. Right. It's mild annoyance, but like when it comes to like just adding all the sets, I mean, they have the master list. I send it to them every time. Like, here's the whole list of like everything, you know, like only include these. Here it is. One and done. Like, they're not adding more, you know. It's been 2001.
It's out of print. It's out of print. It's so easy.
You know, it'd be one thing if it's like, oh, you got to get the latest Pokemon or Magic, you know, set or whatever. Well, that stuff's happening every month, right? Which would be maddening, but just
they're on top of that. They're on top of Pokemon and Magic, but they can't get on top of Star Wars, which has been out of print for 20 years.
Yeah, I don't understand why they have some of these sets that are like cards that start with S, you know, from the 60s. It's like, what kind of grouping is that? Like, that's nonsense. Like, just get the factory ones, like the sets.
Right.
And then, you know, some of these set creations are just bizarre. I'm like, somebody actually did this. Anyways, neither here nor there. Well, that's all I got for now. Any final thoughts, JP, on
no, keep the activity going. The group's been going great. We have a lot of people that's selling on the group that are advertising their eBay auctions. And so keep the activity going. You guys are welcome to auction and sell and do whatever you want in the group. And we haven't had any shady deals lately. So good
love
job.
That. Let's keep that up. That's a good trend. All right. Thank you, JP.
Thanks, Kyle.